feel out there as you got accomplished what you wanted to do today?
Yeah, I felt good. The biggest thing for me is fastball command. I threw all fastballs except for one. I was able to get a curveball in for a strike. So very rarely that I throw more curveballs than changeups, but just really wanted to establish the fastball. Been working on it a lot. Feel really comfortable with my command and everything, and so it was good to see that just being able to pitch with the fastball and make good pitches can get outs.
It was nice just to get the first one kind of out of the way this spring.
Yeah, it's fun, especially it was a longer wait than usual. I hadn't thrown in 7 days, at least to hitters, so it's nice to get back out there, and always good to get the first one just because that's the first time you really get amped up. It's fun seeing your own hitters, but it's definitely a different gear you get to when you see hitters from the other team.
There's been a lot of talk about you being the ace of the staff. Do you feel any pressure to perform this spring?
No, no more than usual. You got to earn your keep year in and year out in this league. There's, I mean, just evidence with how many guys we have in camp this year that are vying for starting spots. It's very competitive, and it's fun to have the young guys pushing you because it makes sure that you stay on top of your game. And the only thing I can hope to do is maybe give them a little bit of advice and just lead by example, and not really be an ace or anything like that, but just help set the tone for the pitching staff.
You said it obviously is kind of a late for getting a start off there, but do you feel kind of like you're ahead maybe as far as feeling ready to go for a season?
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing for us is you have to just build up your innings, and they do that gradually. Otherwise, spring training could be about 2 weeks and we'd be ready to go. So blame it on the starters on that one. But it's yeah, I feel really good with how I'm pitching and how I'm throwing. It's just a matter of being able to get to that 90, 100 pitch threshold and be ready to go come opening series.
Gosh, some pitchers have specific goals, not so much in terms of wins and losses, but 30, 32 starts, 200 innings. Is that on your radar screen for the season?
In the distance, I guess. If I'm out there giving the team a chance to win time and time again, the rest of the statistics kind of take care of themselves. And whether it's wins and losses, ERA, I don't really pay attention to any of that. If I'm out there, getting into the 7th, 8th inning, giving the team a chance to win, the rest of it's going to take care of itself because you're not going to be able to get there, giving up 4 or 5 runs early on.
The 32 stars, 33 stars, 200 innings says something about the durability and endurance that a starter really needs to have.
Yeah, I mean,
do you buy into that?
I mean, there's benchmarks for everything. You want to throw as many innings as possible. No one ever wants to be the guy that gets pulled out of the game. So whether at the end of the year, the line shows 200 innings, it may or may not. Obviously, that seems to be a threshold. But you just want to pitch as many innings as you can.
Talking about this swinging for the fastball today, is that one of the goals on your radar screen coming in terms of refining your particular game this spring? Can we work on the fastball and change the command location?
No, for me it's always been the 3rd pitch, and so it's continuing to develop the curveball, and it's to the point where I'm more comfortable with it each time I go out. Fastball command for me is just, I mean, that's where my building blocks come from. If I don't have fastball command, I'm not going to be very good. And so that's just something that I always emphasize and want to make sure I pitch off my fastball. Even though I don't throw as hard as some guys, I mean, I have no problem throwing a majority of fastballs just because I'm confident that I can put it where I want and be able to get outs with it.
So are you going to use the curveball more this year than
Yeah, I hope so. Obviously, each game dictates how much it gets used, and there might be days where I need it because the other pitches aren't there, and there's days that fastball changeup are really good and I might not have to use it, but it's just something I want to have ready just in case I do need it.
Have you heard anything yet about how it's going to line up?
No, I mean, I'm sure they don't even know who the 5 are going to be, so in terms of figuring out where they fall in the order, I don't think anyone has an idea right now.
1, 2, 3, 4. Have counted it out, so it kind of lines up like yours.
Oh, I mean, it could be, but I haven't looked that far in the calendars. Try to go start to start, and then once an announcement's made, then everybody will be on the same page.
How important is it to you as a pitcher and a pitching staff to finally know, the catching situation and who you're going to be throwing to and what have you along those lines?
Well, the good thing is we have so many good guys in camp that it's whoever they throw back there is going to do a good job. It's just a matter of them understanding what you want to do pitching-wise and you relaying that to them. That way there's no confusion and like, hey, if I shake, it's usually to go to this pitch, or this is what I want to do to certain hitters, and that comes just with time and getting comfortable with guys. But in terms of their physical skills, they're all really talented. So we've been trying to throw to as many as we can in our live BPs and bullpens, just because just as much as the starting rotation's up in the air, the catchers as well. So we'll see how that works out. But obviously, being able to throw to Tuffy today was a lot of fun, and we have a great relationship, and I pretty much know what he's going to call, and we can read each other really well, so it works out.
When you hear your name associated with that #1 spot, possibly, does that fire you up a little bit more? Or?
Yeah, it's exciting. Just going back and forth from rotation to the bullpen. Odds are, once you go to the bullpen, you usually don't come back. But it's been a revolving door for me as opposed to a one-way street. And so, from last year, thinking I was going to be in the bullpen to get in the rotation, and then just to be able to mention in that would be pretty special. Just everything that goes in with opening day, and just the spectacle that it is. It'd be fun to take the ball for the team and really get this season off and running.
It's a little different for you and Chips. That's something a little bit needing to see throw what you expect from the word. But you're just kind of penciling it in as opposed to the past where you're kind of just keeping it in the spot.
Yeah, it almost seems like, just with what I've been able to do, and especially last year, that people are kind of finally saying, like, we know what he's going to give us. We don't have to really guess anymore. And that's just something I've always wanted to be, is consistent, not have the ups and downs. And last year I was really able to establish some consistency, especially towards the end of the season. And so every time out, you're going 7, 8 innings as opposed to 5, then 6, then 4, then 8, and bouncing around. So just learning more, pitching smarter, and just understanding the game, year in and year out, is where to save pitches and things like that are crucial, and it really helps out. And I can evidence this last year.
Good job.